The summary of the garden begins with the speaker reflecting upon the vanity and inferiority of man's devotion to public life in politics or and civic service. Instead, the speaker values retreat to fair quiet awe and its sister innocence in a private garden. The speaker portrays the garden as a space of sacred plants removed from society and its rude demands. He praises the garden for its shade of loyal green, which he sees as superior to the white and red hues that commonly signify passionate love. The speaker claims that when passion has run its course, love turns people towards a complete contemplative life sourced by nature. He praises the abundance of fruits and plants in the garden, imagining himself tripping over melons and falling upon the grass. Meanwhile, his mind retreats into a state of inner happiness, allowing him to create and contemplate other worlds and other seas. The speaker then returns to addressing the garden, where he envisions his soul releasing itself from his body and perching in the trees like a bird. He compares the scenes to the happy garden state of Eden, the biblical paradise in which God created Adam and Eve. The poem ends with the speaker imagination the garden as its own cosmos with a sun running through a fragrant zodiac and an industrious bee whose work computes the passenger of time. The analysis of the poem is the garden is divided into nine number stanza, each of which contains four rhyme couplets and rhyming pentameter. Its subject matter is tranquility of retirement from. So, the analysis is most important. Public life most criticizes associated the poem's content with Marvell's own retirement from his position as a tutor of Mary Fairfax, whose father Thomas was a general in Oliver Cromwell's army during the English Civil War. In the first stanza, the speaker mentions three forms of public virtue associated with the emblem of a particular plant's leaves. The plum for military virtue, the oak for civic virtue, and the bay for the poetic virtue. The tree's significance is important here and came in the exam. Remember it. However, these symbols also suggest the limitations of the pursuits they signify since the weathers are only made of trimmings from the actual plant's public life and devotion to virtue must come to an end one day. The speaker suggests that just um, sorry. The speaker goes on to praise the solitude and quiet of his retreat into the garden, believing that he was mistaken to have once sought for quiet and innocence among the busy campaigns of men. He also associated his private retreat with a holy experience, stating that the sacred planets of quiet and innocence can only grow amongst the organic plants in the garden. In other words, the material surrounding of the garden makes room in the speaker's heart and mind for the sheer cultivation of spiritual values which life in society has forced him to disagree. The speaker continues to develop his extended consist of garden virtuous, finding its lovely green more powerful than red and white, which are the colors poets most often used in erotic. So, yeah, if you want to read, then pause the video and you also can read it. Okay. The poem also the significance and its poem line also significance poetry to describe the leaves, teeth, face, and body of a beloved poets may carve the name of their beloved into trees, but the speaker finds such action to be fruitless because the each tree already contains a more beautiful imprint, a proper name. By using this image, Marvel refers to the Renaissance doctrine of signature, rerum or signature of all things, which held that God imprint each entity he created with the sign of its proper name and gave Adam the power to recognize these signs. The speaker thus imagines his experience in the garden as a paradisal return to Adam's perfect knowledge of creation. The speaker continues to praise the abundant fruits, vines, flowers, and grass in the garden, but at the end of stage 5, the speaker abruptly shifts when he finds himself stumbling on melons and incinerated with flowers. He falls into onto the grass, which suggests that the garden's private affluence has become too much for him to manage, as if it is has overwhelmed his bodily sense. Hence, he retreated into his mind, where the powers of contemplation become a source of superior creativity. His mind is capable of making other world and other seas that transcend the limitation of physical embodiment, thereby inhalating all that's made the to a green thought in a green shade. Since this new shade of green denotes the creative power of the intellect in appears to the garden. It simply glides into the tree limbs like a bird waving its wings to reflect the light of the sun until it is ready for its longer flight. The image suggests that during the soul's time on earth, it is possible for it to transcend some of the physical body's limitation, as we see in the speaker's previous contemplation of a green thought in a green shade. Yet the soul cannot entirely detach from the physical world until the moment of bodily death. So for the time being, it must remain purchased upon the highest reaches that the garden allows. Thus, the poem's final stanza contains an exact metaphor comparing the garden in a private universe. Thank you for watching.